Brett Strong, Internet Skeptic. Series title, 60 Seconds or Less, where I utterly destroy the world's top Christian apologists in 60 seconds or less. Up next to bat will be William Lane Craig. He likes to do a lecture titled, Does God Exist? But he, of course he worships the Christian God, so let's supplant it with, Does the Christian God exist? This is what William Lane Craig ultimately lectures about all the time. Does the Christian God exist? He gives this as his argument points. Point 1, the origin of the universe. Who or what created it? The moral argument. Who's the moral lawgiver? And who resurrected Jesus? So that's his 3 basic points. He has more, but that's the 3 basic points. The origin of the universe, who or what created it. The moral argument, ultimately, he wants to, there has to be a moral lawgiver, and who had the power to resurrect Jesus. And, of course, it comes down to the Christian God. Basically, William Lane Craig said, yeah, of course, the Christian God did it. The Christian God created the universe. The Christian God is a moral lawgiver. The Christian God resurrected Jesus. The only problem is that he can't prove the Christian God exists. William Lane Craig, you cannot prove the Christian God exists. So your whole argument falls apart from the very beginning when you realize that William Lane Craig is just bluffing. He's just imagining, speculating, guessing, hoping, believing that the Christian God exists, but he can't prove it. He can't say, well, here's the Christian God, speak. Here's the Christian God, let me do some miracles and show you. He can't prove the Christian God exists at all. Zero, nada. He can only have faith and believe. So when he talks about the origin of the universe, who, what created it, when he deposits the Christian God, he's being hypothetical. He's being theoretical. He's just assuming. He's just speculating. He's just guessing. That's all. It's just a pure guess. The Christian God, he can't prove that the Christian God exists. The Christian God doesn't exist because the Christian God, the Bible is fairy tales. The Bible is a book of fairy tales. So that's why William Lane Craig can't prove the Christian God exists, because the Christian God is a fairy tale. So what he ultimately is doing, William Lane Craig, is depositing a fairy tale character of the Bible. And he's saying, yeah, this fairy tale character of the Bible created the universe. This fairy tale character of the Bible is the moral lawgiver. This fairy tale character of the Bible actually resurrected Jesus. Another fairy tale character. I mean, that's kind of like maddening to deposit something he can't prove. Something when you read the Bible, okay, this is fairy tales. Science, modern medicine, come on, this stuff is not real. This is fairy tale. Take science, what we know of science, what we know of modern medicine, and apply it to the Bible, and you go, okay, the Christian God, Jesus, the New Testament superhero character, Jesus, this is all fairy tale. So ultimately, William Lane Craig is depositing fairy tales as the origin of the universe, the creator of it, the moral lawgiver, the one who resurrected the fairy tale Jesus. This is what William Lane Craig is doing. He's imagining the Christian God exists, and he's imagining the Christian God did it. So he's imagining the Christian God exists, and he's imagining the Christian God did it. Wow. His foundation is imagination, and William Lane Craig's conclusion is imagination. It's a bluff, folks. It's a bluff. William Lane Craig, very intelligent guy. He has 2 PhDs, and he loves to just wail on people who don't know the foundation. But when you know the foundation of what William Lane Craig is doing, basically selling a bluff, selling his imagination, selling a hypothetical scenario, he is selling something he can't prove. A 2-year-old kid can dominate William Lane Craig. A 2-year-old kid. All I have to say is, hey, William Lane Craig, hey, I know you got 2 PhDs, one in theology, one in philosophy. I know you got crazy arguments. I know you could argue day and night, but just prove to me the Christian God exists. That's all. Just prove to me. This disembodied God that you say is real, prove to me exists. Just prove to me. Because in the fairy tale Bible, the Christian God has proven himself all the time that he exists. Empirically. Boom. But so all 2 kids just just prove to me. Just like it says, just prove to me your God exists. We got science, we got modern medicine, we got NASA, we got ways we can prove that he exists. Just prove it. William Lane Craig is utterly Stuttered. He's like, I'll give you arguments like fine-tuning the complexity of life, the moral law. I'll give you, but he's like, no. William Lane Craig, stop it. Shh. Just prove to me empirically the Christian God exists. That's all. Just prove empirically. I'm just asking. I'll believe if you can empirically prove your God exists without question. He can't do it. He has to walk away. A 2-year-old could dominate William Lane Craig. The reason why he's able to dominate so many people in lectures is because all these professors he's debating, they got weird ideals, weird way of thinking, and so William Lane Craig just makes him look stupid. But when you just cut all that weirdness out and just be like a child, common sense, just prove to me that your God exists. William Lane Craig, that's all. Very simple. I mean, after all, somebody said, hey, I got a space alien in my garage. Just prove to me. That's all. I don't need a PhD argument in philosophy about this space. Just show me the space alien. Or I'm going to have to tell you that you're misled, that you're imagining. That you're just imagining this in your head. That's what the Christian God is. It's William Lane's imagination. It's all in his head. It's blind faith. And that's okay, folks. Believing in the Christian God or Jesus, it's okay, but you have to allow like Muslims to believe in their God. It's okay, and you have to allow like Buddhists to believe in reincarnation and Hindus to believe in reincarnation. You have to allow Mormons to do their little thing. You have to allow Scientologists to do their little thing about some being from 75 million years ago came to Earth and yada yada. You have to allow people, as long as they're being peaceful, to enjoy their beliefs, because you can't prove these things, folks. The Christian God does not exist. Religious gods that have this scripture and says, obey us and do this, they don't exist. Christianity is just one of millions of gods that supposedly exist, and He's spoken words to us. It's not real. William Lane Craig cannot empirically prove the Christian God exists on any level. He can't. He's basing his beliefs off the Bible, a book of fairy tales. And you listen to William Lane Craig. How does a guy with 2 PhDs fall into this, believe in the Bible at that level, dedicate himself to the Bible at that level? Well, he says it once in a while. William Lane Craig, when he was young, I think a teenager or something like that, he says at some point, paraphrasing, but ultimately he came down to one of the reasons was he was scared of hell. William Lane Craig admitted as a young man, he was just scared of hell. Somebody sold William Lane Craig the hell ideal. You're going to burn forever, William Lane Craig. You're going to burn. Unless you follow me and believe me, which is this Bible, you're going to burn in hell forever and ever. Every time you die, the Christian God's going to just bring you back to life and just burn you again. And when you die, burn you again for all eternity. And William Lane Craig was like, WTF. He was scared. William Lane Craig was biting his nails. A young guy like, holy, I don't want to burn forever to a crisp. That's crazy, dude. Holy WTF. William Lane Craig was doing. He's like, I'll believe. And he bought into it, and that was it. 1,000 miles an hour. Bible believer. And that's okay, too. I respect William Lane Craig Christianity. I respect all people's Christianity. Just don't be dogmatic with all this hell stuff and sin stuff. That's what bothers people. It's not Christians believing in God or Jesus or any religion, whether you're Buddhist, whether you're Hindu, whether you're Muslim, whether you're some kind of cult. People don't care. It's like, hey, as long as you're peaceful and don't bring dogma trying to scare people and make people go a certain way, people are cool about it. But William Lane Craig, of course, ultimately comes down, obey this Bible. And he can't even prove that Christian God exists. He can't. So, does the Christian God exist? No. That's why William Lane Craig can't prove the Christian God exists, because he doesn't. William Lane Craig is basing his belief on a book of fairy tales. He's bluffing. It's all a bluff, folks. 2 PhDs is all a bluff. But I can understand when William Lane Craig was scared of hell. Somebody duped him into believing the Bible. He was scared for his life. He was scared. He didn't want to be burnt to a crisp. He probably had nightmares. Probably was shivering. Probably pooped his pants, so scared of what somebody sold him. So he's like, I'll believe, and I'll get my life. That's William Lane Craig. Does the Christian God exist? Obviously, no. That's why William Lane Craig cannot empirically improve. That's why William Lane Craig cannot empirically prove the Christian God exists, because he doesn't. The Bible is a book of fairy tales, and that's cool too, but let it be known. He can't prove it. He can't prove the Christian God exists, and he can't prove the Christian God did anything, because he can't prove the Christian God exists, because he doesn't. So the origin of the universe, the moral argument, the resurrection of Jesus, all falls apart from this one thing. He can't prove it. Empirically, he cannot do it at any level. He claims this being is out there, this disembodied being is out there, but if you ask him, just prove it, William Lane Craig, I'll believe. Just prove. He can't. He's left empty-handed. 2 PhDs, he's just left stupefied, walks away. He's just one big bluff. And there you have it. William Lane Craig, utterly destroyed in 60 seconds or less. Brett Strong, signing off.